Hey guys, welcome to Game Talk. Episode 6? Episode 6. Today we are talking about the top 10 best games of the year. So pretty much the next Game Talk will go up on Friday, and that'll be the worst games of the year, so tune in for that. But right now we are counting down the best games, in my opinion, of 2014. And also, leave in the comments what your favorite game of 2014 was. And do that before you watch the video, and then, I don't know, or maybe comment and see. I just want to know because I want to see how our results differ. Or even post your own top 10 list of the games that came out this year. And if you need a little help, like I did, go on Wikipedia. They have a full list of games that came out this year, so if you need a little help doing this. Here are the rules. No mobile games, like I would need that rule. The no mobile games rule is mainly for the worst games, because if I had the mobile games were allowed for the worst games list, it would be all mobile games, except for one, which is number 1 on the worst games list. But anyways, we'll get to that Friday. But regardless, here are my top 10 games of 2014. Number 10. Number 10, I mentioned this, I just talked about it in the last Game Talk, Little Big Planet 3. Little Big Planet 3 is an amazing game. I didn't even realize this. I only realized this after I recorded the last episode. Now there's 16 layers apart from the usual 3. Now there's 16, which adds just so much. There's so much going on all the time. I didn't even notice that until literally between when I filmed the last one and when I filmed this one. But yeah. So that was that. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, Little Big Planet 3, again, the reason I put so low is because you are probably not going to like it if you didn't like the originals, and it doesn't really do much for you if you didn't like the originals, but I like them, so I put it at number 10, not because it was bad. I put it at number 10 because all the other games, in my opinion, were actually better, just better than Little Big Planet. So we're setting the bar pretty high. So what's next? In my opinion, this is number 9. South Park: The Stick of Truth. This one was an early release, and it was actually supposed to come out a couple years ago. But anyways, South Park: The Stick of Truth. A lot of people, when this game came out, said, "Oh, this game is great if you are a fan of even if you aren't a fan of South Park, or even if you aren't a fan of RPGs." That's bullshit. If you don't like RPGs, and if you don't like South Park, you're not gonna like the game. You won't. But even if you're not a fan of RPGs, I think if you're not a fan of RPGs, but you are a fan of South Park, this game is good. And I think that's the only, people who like South Park. If you like South Park, get it, That's it. Even if you don't like RPGs, or if you love them, get it. But yeah, I just don't want you to think that if you don't like South Park, it'll still be good. It won't. You won't like it if you don't like the humor of South Park. But other than that, it was good. It was addicting, and I played it almost every day until I beat it. The only problem with this game, in my opinion, is that after the game ends, there's really nothing to do. I didn't want to do the side quests; weren't interesting to me. And that's pretty much it. So here we go with number, was it 8? I already forgot. I already made a screw up. And we've barely even been going for I don't know how many minutes. But anyway, here's what could top that, I guess. Number 1. Number
8.
Number 8 is, again, an early release in this year, Wolfenstein: The New Order. Now, to be fair, with not only with Wolfenstein: The New Order, but with the last game, South Park: Stick of Truth, both of those games aren't really getting talked about anymore, but I still remember them and I think they were pretty damn good. Wolfenstein was a great, fun first-person shooter. You know, I don't think it's not like groundbreaking or anything, which is why it's so low, but I had a damn fun time playing it. So, yeah, and that's pretty much me. You know, if you thought it was just a first-person shooter and it was fun, but it doesn't deserve to be on this list, you know, it's my list, so I had a damn fun time playing it. You know, maybe you didn't for some reason. Maybe the game kept crashing or something. I don't think it was supposed to, but anyways, yeah, so that is Wolfenstein: The New Order. And we're up with
Number 7.
the only game to date that I own on the Xbox One besides Assassin's Creed 4. Well, actually, no, the only game I've downloaded, I guess, I don't know. Assassin's Creed 4 is the other game I have on Xbox One, but Xbox One, I have Assassin's Creed 4 and Dead Rising 3. The only problem with this game is the story. I didn't care about it. Even in the story, there were some funny moments, like with the fat chick who tried to kill you. That was hilarious. It was pretty hilarious. Especially the reaction videos from YouTube to that gains. But anyways, so yeah, stupid fucking dogs. Yeah, so I completely lost my train of thought. Okay, Dead Rising 3. The co-op was fun, you know, the game was fun, the controls were fun, you know, the crafting weapons was made quicker. My two main complaints are the story, it wasn't that interesting, even though there were some exceptions like the fat lady part. And then the other bad thing is that it didn't take place in a mall, which was like a staple of the series since the beginning. And it didn't really have much to do with the other two Dead Risings, so other than zombies. So that was my only problem. Two problems with it, and again, they're not that big problems if you just look at the game as a standalone. Then it's just the story, and it's still got a few exceptions. So now, moving on to
Number 6.
Far Cry 4. Holy shit, in the little time that I've had this game, I have had so much fucking fun. And by little time, I mean I literally just I've been saving up my money to get a game. I had enough. I bought it. I played very little, and I know with confidence I can put this on the list. I've had so much fun in the little time I've played, and you know, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, and it's so much more fun than the Far Cry 3. Whereas Far Cry 3 was fun, it really didn't have that whole... I feel this is the Saints Row 3 or Saints Row 4 of the Far Cry series. I think it's the Saints Row 3 of the Far Cry series because it's the first one to go silly. And whereas it doesn't go all silly, it doesn't like go embrace the silly like Saints Row 4 did. So I think it's the Saints Row 3 of the series. Whereas the series is going down a slightly more comedic path, and you know, this started with Blood Dragon. With Blood Dragon, that's where this whole Goofy train started. Goofy train, wow. But anyways, it started with Blood Dragon, and now it's just continuing with Far Cry 4. And I think that's a good thing, but I don't think they should go full out, you know, balls to the wall like Saints Row 4 did. Far Cry is a great series on its own, and it doesn't need to be, you know, silly. It doesn't need to take place in outer space. Now, Blood Dragon was fun, but if it was Far Cry 4, then it probably wouldn't have been as well received, mainly because it's not a Far Cry game. And when you set a standard for the series, it needs to be at least somewhat alike, and it can't just go into space. Saints Row was different because it had a space theme, but it was still an open world game. You know, and a lot of people didn't like Saints Row 4 anyway, so I don't think they should take it. I think they should keep it at the goofiness that it's at, and keep it there, because when it is my number 6 game of the year. So here we are with
Number 5.
The Wolf Among Us. Yes, The Wolf Among Us. The Wolf Among Us. Telltale have made every single top 10 or top 5, because I did top 5 for my favorite games throughout the years, ever since I've been doing YouTube. But every game Telltale has made so far that I've played, I've put on best games of the year list. I have not played Game of Thrones, and even if I did, and if it was awesome, I still wouldn't put it on this list because it's not finished yet. The Wolf Among Us, I know it did start in 2013. It did. But it's still finished in 2014. And it was a finished game, so it was pretty much like in an alpha stage, and it finished in 2014. Same with another game coming up soon. But anyways, so Game of Thrones isn't finished yet. I'm considering an alpha, and that was another rule I forgot to mention. No alpha games. So, yeah, if you're wondering where's Kerbal Space Program and Prison Architect, those two both are great games, but they're in alpha stages. So yeah, The Wolf Among Us, and it did some clever things, and I would love to see all the old characters there. My favorite character was Bloody Mary. I mean, just amazing character. Like, I love what they did with her, making her, you know, a villain. And the final confrontation with her was awesome. So yeah, The Wolf Among Us. You know, Telltale with its second, you know, I guess game that I've put on in my top 5, because this is actually number 5. So every single game Telltale has made that's finished after Walking Dead. I just realized I had games before that, but after Walking Dead has made my list. And I know what you're thinking, what about The Walking Dead Season 2? I'll get to that.
Number 4.
Alien Isolation. As a huge fan of the Alien series, it was amazing to play this game. It was a horror game, it was amazing. And, yeah, I don't know what I can say that hasn't been said by freaking everyone. You know, everyone's praised this game, it's amazing, so I'm just going to shorten it up for you. It's a great game. If you're a fan of aliens, you should play it. If you're not a fan of aliens, you know, you should probably play it. But if you're not a fan of aliens and you're not a fan of horror games, then probably don't. You know, so that is Alien Isolation. Quick little recap. Or not a recap, but who cares? Here we are with the next.
Number 3.
Super Smash Bros. U. What the fuck can I say? It's Super Smash Bros. Of course it's awesome. And, you know, with the 8-player brawl, it's amazing. And, fun fact, same thing sort of with Telltale. Every Smash Bros. After Melee, if I made like a top 5 list for those years that they came out, like Melee would be in the top 5, Brawl would be in the top 5, and again, Smash Bros. U is in the top 5. It's in the top 3 actually. With 8-player Brawl is pretty much all I can say. 8 players, and you know, it's awesome. I haven't actually done it yet, you know, but I'm planning to. And, yeah, so that is Super Smash Bros. Wii U. And, again, I brought up Telltale. You're probably wondering, where's The Walking Dead Season 2? Well,
Number
The
2.
Walking Dead Season 2. Here it is. But anyways, The Walking Dead Season 2 did exactly what the first game did right. Only a little bit worse. Just a tiny bit worse. Mainly that we didn't really connect with these characters as much. Or at least I did. Maybe you did and you thought it was amazing. But I didn't really connect with the characters as much as I did the first season. Like, I loved everyone or hated everyone, depending. But with the new ones, it was just, I kind of liked some characters and didn't like some characters, but some of them just, they didn't do much. Yeah, so that is The Walking Dead Season 2. So, yeah. Here we are with a few honorable mentions. I forgot to write these down, so I guess there's no honorable mentions. There probably are, but, for an honorable mentions list, I guess go down to the comments and, because I'm sure there's people going, why didn't you have this game on the list, or why didn't you have this game? So consider those honorable mentions for the most part. Like if someone says, if someone says, something stupid like Ride to Hell Retribution why isn't on here? For one, that came out last year, and two, that game's shit. But, so I guess go check down in the comments to see what it is, what's going on. The honorable mentions. So, and now, here it is.
Number 1.
What could possibly be better than all these games? What could be number 1? Well, it is, and I'm going to probably get a lot of hate for this, it's PT. It is PT, and I know what you're thinking. This is just a demo. It's not. It's not a demo. It's a full experience. PT does what in an hour it is better than Alien Isolation, Super Smash Bros. U, It is amazing. I made a video with me and Christian playing it, and we got scared within the first 5 minutes. And it had barely any dialogue. I mean, no dialogue if you don't want to listen to it, which is severely missing out. But if you don't want to listen to it, it's not there. You can just get scared. PT, just wow. And, exactly. And I know it, so it is a demo, but in that demo, it is better than all of those games. The reason, I know what you're saying, but this is technically an early access game. Well, if one of those early access games were the best games of the year in early access, I'd still put them on the list. They were number 1. So, I consider it an exception because this game is so damn good and so damn scary. You should definitely play it, and it deserves to be an exception. And that was Game Talk. That was Game Talk. So that was Game Talk, and top 10 best games of the year. And this Friday, tune in for the top 10 worst games of the year. So here's to 2015, and let's hope it has even better games than these. If it's better than PT, I'll be fucking shocked. And also, I cannot wait for Silent Hills, because if PT was that awesome and it's number 1 and it's a demo, I can't wait for Silent Hills. I mean, that's what PT is a player portrayal for. Okay. So that was Game Talk, and one more thing about PT. PT is a demo for, I haven't said what, because at the end of the game, at the end of the demo, the demo, it tells you what is a demo of. It's actually playable trailer, I know, but I'm just going to say demo. It shows you what's a demo of, and you should guess that, but I cannot wait for that game, because it's just gonna be awesome. I mean, think about it. If the demo for the game gets number 1 on a list, what is the actual game gonna get? So, yeah, so that's something to think about. Tune in this Friday for the top 10 worst games of the year. I'll see you guys next time.